Position to make several plays last week. You broke that would-be touchdown in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel like you played last week?
I played pretty good, honestly. So executed in a lot of moments in the game, made a lot of big plays when need to be made, so did my thing.
You're on pace right now for a career year. Your stats are pretty comparable to last year,
Mm-hmm.
but your role's a little bit different
Mm-hmm.
than last year. How do you account for the development, the development and improvement that you've had so far?
Football's a big development game. You don't want to make the same mistakes. So, you take things from last year, you try to make them better the following year. And, big kudos to, the coaches in the building as well, coaching us up, putting us into the position for success, in alignment assignment and our technique, and then, where our eyes need to be, things like that. And it's just set me up real well all year so far.
It's one of the older defenders in particular. You've played for several defensive coordinators,
Mm-hmm.
safeties coaches. What's different about this defense and your role in it and working with Coach Pallage compared to 2-3 different safeties coaches, 2-3 different coordinators before?
I think more so now I'm older, so I understand, more so, they're honing on, where your eyes need to be and things like that. And then it's like I understand why my eyes need to be at different situations on certain particular plays. And so I really feel like it just go back to that development over time. So it's like I'm not saying, the last coaches were bad or anything like that. It's just I just grew as a player, got more mature. So it's like now I'm really understanding what the coach is meaning, eyes on your leverage, eyes on your work, things like that, knowing where different people are in the defense so you can play to your leverage and things like that. So
Colorado's had a lot of changes at quarterback. How difficult does that make, film prep for you, kind of knowing what you're going to see on Saturday?
You just got to account for them both. Just overall go back, watch the games when the last guy played, and then see what he did well. And then now you got to go and look at the guys playing now, and then look at the throws he's making, the reads he's doing back there. So just watch film.
Outside of some really select circumstances, you guys really have not had the top blown off at all. Even on long balls, like
Mm-hmm.
last week they won against Gonzo, I think. It's a long pass, but top didn't get blown off.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when the twos were in there, yes, there was one guy fell down.
Mm-hmm.
How much pride do you take as a safety where, yeah, you guys are keeping the top on the coverage
Yeah,
pretty much across the board this year?
Playing safety, man. They say keep a roof on the house, and that's what we've been trying to do week by week. And it goes to at practice. Our offense gives us a lot of good looks, and then our scouting gives us a lot of good looks. So it goes back to the game prep and things like that. So we'd like to say keep a roof on the house. Understand that we got to be the deepest of the deepest. So.
Is Colorado a team you expect to challenge you though? It sounds like that's a team that's may throw it downfield a little more.
No, for sure. They definitely take more shots than we've seen in the past. They take a lot of shots. So really got to diagnose their plays, diagnose their offense, see when they like to get to the shot plays, who the guys that like to throw it too deep, and things like that.
Tyson is the guy. I think I don't know his number off the top of my
4.
head, but
Yep, number 4. Yeah.
he's the one who has at least the most explosive.
Yeah, no,
so
he's
far.
a-
Is that the guy you kind of have to keep an eye on?
Yeah, no, I think he's a very talented young guy. And he definitely could give us issues if we don't take care of that for sure.
How has this team just managed a 7-game win streak and not getting too cocky, not looking too far ahead of what could happen if you guys keep winning?
So we talk a lot about stacking days. So we're just trying to stack good days on top of good days. So it goes in stacking good games on top of good games, and just keep. You got to stay humble and hungry, and that, at the end that's pretty much what it comes down to. Just trying to refocus and recenter every week, and just breaking down the teams that we're playing against, and just going back to okay, what do we do wrong? All right, let's do that better. Because even in the games that we do win, we do want to make corrections. So things like that.
What were the corrections you felt like from the Cal game that you want to fix up or clean
Me
up?
personally, just some of the leverage in the run fits personally. But that was pretty much that's my main thing.
I think you guys have had in 8 games 12 different guys lead you in tackles, counting ties. What does that say? And only one guy's done it twice. What does that say about you guys as a unit?
And we take pride in tackling. That's what I would say. We definitely take pride in tackling. This is football. It's a physical game, man. You got to come tackle. So if you want to tackle, you should play a different sport. And all our guys are hungry to make plays. So we're trying to lead the team in tackles. In the safety room, we're making competitions at practice like, hey, who can get the most studs? So we're taking pride in it for sure.
What's the area you feel like this defensive back group has improved the most at over the course of the season?
I would say communication across the board, from safety to the corners to the nickel backs, talking to the linebackers. I think communication is getting everybody lined up, and you recognize formation and communicating everything just across the back end, I feel like.
Did you get a chance to watch the Dolphins at all this past weekend?
And I got to see a couple little highlights, man. I was trying to get to it, but we were up here majority of the day. But yeah, no, I was happy my guys are out there on the field at the same time. It's truly a blessing, honestly.
We've already kind of seen this with Chase, but for you, what's your sense of how excited Christian is to go against his former team?
Honestly, I would say I don't think we put too much effort into that because I think a lot of the guys he played with, I don't know if they transferred or what. But I mean, I'm sure still some of the guys are still there, but we haven't really put too much effort and time into that.
You've seen Brian go from receiver to DB back and forth, and this year he's really found his spot on the defensive side. Just what can you say about his development this season and just what he means for your position group?
Yeah, no, it's really cool to watch. So we call him BA. It's really cool to watch BA, grow and develop as a player. Coming in, we were in the same recruiting class, and he was like categorized as an athlete. And so it was really cool to see him, go from offense, come to defense. He started off in the corner room, came to the safety room, and you just seeing him learn, develop, and just really just hone in on his skills and his abilities. He's a 6'5" safety, and he's out there being a ball hawk. And I'm like, that's what he does, and we love to see him out there executing on that.
It's one of the more experienced guys. It was just not just the experience of last year and seeing in November when games matter and those things, but one of the few guys who are actually on the defense was around in 19. And so, obviously what can happen there. Just, yes, when playoff rankings come out tonight, and this is going to be a weekly thing about, the importance of staying in the moment and having experienced that twice in your time here. What is the value of that to you as a player?
So I feel like, in a sense, outside noise. And we try to not put too much focus on outside noise because at the end of the day, like what we're ranked right now, truly, like it's whatever. We just want to win football games. That's really what we're more worried about, winning football games. And it's just like it's cool, it's fine and dandy. It's a tale to the work that I put in on a week by week basis, and it's exciting. I'm happy for us, but at the same time, it's kind of outside noise. You don't really want to worry about it too much.
What allowed your guys' third down defense to be so much better last week against California? Sorry.
We put an emphasis on it at practice. Big emphasis on it.
Is there anything special you were doing in practice that kind of made it click finally?
So in the past on third down we could call it money down. So it's like money get off the field. So I think it was during Andy Avalos, he used to bring the posters money down. So we kind of like, hey, let's bring that back. Like, hey, let's make like on money down at practice. Like, hey, everybody's yelling, shouting, screaming. It's kind of like, okay, let's see the sticks, see what's going on, see what the offense trying to run, things like that. So just putting a big emphasis on it.
Steve, Steve, what have you seen from Bryce Betcher? I know he's mostly a special teams working with your safety crew.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him so far?
And that dude is flying. He's a flying missile. Like a heat-seeking missile. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I mean, you probably can stand over here and hear him hitting some people. So he's just flying around doing his thing, man. I'm excited to be next to him on kickoff because he's been starting kickoff with me this whole time. So it's been really cool. Excited for that guy.